মিউট করে দেন ভালো হয় স্যার আপনি বলুন
Okay. Now we are going to organize the national level seminar on concept of research and modern yoga practice as a part of our student week celebration, and it is organized by our IQAC Union Christian Training College. This is the day 7 of the organization of student week. Now I invite our principal, Dr. S.K. Thakur, Principal Union Christian Training College, to deliberate his welcome address.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are very happy that a week-long program is going to be an ended situation after the seminar. The Students' Week program is devised in various sets of discussion as per the advice of the Principal Secretary, Education Department, West Bengal Government. After receiving the order from the government, we made Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay anonymously the coordinator of this program. Therefore, I am very much thankful to him and welcome him in this participant session. I also welcome Dr. Subhobroto Kaur, Head of the Department of Physical Education, to take the responsibility for devising the program today. He is very collaborative and positive attitude mind in his activities throughout the week. Although he does not want to become in the screen, but I have requested him severally to work for this program, and he has organized today's program in a very systematic way. This program is very much a deliberateful program. After, the students will very much enjoyable and will learn the basic of the research programs, because after passing the B.Ed or B.P.Ed courses, most of the students will have to join in M.Ed and M.P.Ed courses. After passing the situation, they will have to perform research activities. And in their postgraduate program also, there is a paper for research program. If they hear today's program, they will enable and will be able to very much effective skill to know from this program. I am very much thankful to the organizer and the link provider and the participant of different parts, not only in India but also from the other country up to Turakh in this program. This international program of the college will be a part of the Students' Week program, and this will be in our YouTube link also. For several time, the students will like the program or see the total program, so that they can be able to know the research doing processes in their future career. You have all learned the career of Mir Jafar Khan. if you read the book Career of Mir Jafar Khan, how he became the chief of the soldier from a very poor family, therefore you will learn here the basics of the research and yogic practices which will develop your both mind and body to survive in this world for a long time. Research is the main part of a lifelong process of an academician. If an academician seems that his learning has been completed and he has nothing to do, he is a foolish man, because learning has no end. Up to the end of the life, we will learn and we will develop ourselves. Rabindranath Tagore once upon said that nobody cannot think that he has learned everything. He will burn and he will delighten everybody by his own endeavor. In our teaching staff, I do know very well that the research mind activities is being done by Dr. Subhabrata Kaur and Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay up to the end of 50 years of their age. They are continuing the writings of many books. You will see and you will visit the books in our library written by Dr. Subhabrata Kaur. You cannot imagine that a person can write enormous numbers of books in Bengali medium, which is very rare, not only in West Bengal, but also the other parts of the Bengali speaking people. I am very thankful and I will welcome Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay, who is organizing this program and giving his wholehearted sincerity for this program from very early situation. He has gone to various places of the district to organize such program in a smooth way. Therefore, I also sincere welcome to my college employees, my B.Ed department staffs, physical education department staffs, and my students who have joined in this program to learn more and more, to develop their career in future. I have already said and I have already told you that education is a lifelong process, and education can build up the character. Build the dadati binayam. Who will learn more, he will become very much elaborate mind in his character building characteristics of his life. In this occasion, I would like to say that there is a journal which is being published by the Department of Physical Education, the lifestyle, as it is named by the department, and it has been accepted by the Board of Governors of Union Christian Training College. Those who are the students of the physical education can write and send their articulation to Dr. Subhabrata Kaur for publication. This journal is ISSN number, and he will be gainful in future to write in this journal by your original thinking, because the editorial board is very much sincere and very much effective. They judge all the matters and after that they publish the writings of the students or researchers who have sent their articles to Dr. Subhabrata Kaur. I also help him only as a principal of the college, but most of the work he is engaged in these activities. Our college, Union Christian Training College, is a great teachers training college in the West Bengal. Not only in West Bengal, but also the other states. You can never see that there is 200 B.Ed students. 4 units are there. And in physical education department, there is 2 sections and 100 students. But for the infrastructural deficiency, we are unable to admit 100 students because we have the recognition of 100 students in the Department of Physical Education. In future, if we purchase some lands and we are able to organize various infrastructural development, then the department will admit 100 students in future, because we have already received the 100 intake of Department of Physical Education. A great building with good infrastructural development and 7 teachers in the Department of Physical Education. Most of them is equipped with doctorate degree and engage themselves up to the end of their life to research program. But this will be the platform of the students, teachers and researchers who have joined in this program will learn the basics of the research, because most of them, we know that doing research, but they do not know how to research, how to guide, how to enable a person or encourage a person to do research activities. The D.Litt is also a degree after the PhD. If PhD is very much original, then it is an easy task for him to obtain D.Litt degree from any university. But sometimes we think that it is very difficult. Not that. If anybody does the PhD degree, if he devote himself or herself in his life and thinks that he or she can do the D.Litt degree, I hope that they will also be able to obtain D.Litt degree in their career. So I hope that today's program will have to complete in a very systematic way, because the 2 senior-most teachers I can say, because not only in age, I am calling them senior-most because of their activities and research mind. Dr. Subhabrata Kaur and Dr. Kishan Mukhopadhyay have written enormous numbers of research papers in UGC affiliated journals, UGC sponsored journals, ISSN journals, and several numbers of books have been published by Dr. Subhabrata Kaur, which is highly recognized by many universities. I have gone Gujarat, Karnataka and Maharashtra. In the states, I have also seen the book of Dr. Subhabrata Kaur. I am proud and I say them that he is our teacher. They laugh and befitting their manner that a college principal has come where a writer is, who is enabling the students for becoming a good professional degree for physical education. Therefore, I do not say much more because I have many programs today after 6 p.m. So I request the organizing secretary and the coordinator of this program to launch today's program in a very systematic way. Nothing more. I again welcome all the participants from the end of the Union Christian Training College, a college situated on the bank of the river Bhagirathi. I am concluding my speech and thank you all again.
Thank you, sir, for your resourceful speaking. Now I welcome and invite Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay, Associate Professor, to deliver his speech.
হ্যালো রিনা পারভিন বন্ধ করো রিনা পারভিন বন্ধ করো Good afternoon everybody. Respected,
Please mute. Rina Parveen, please mute.
You have opened your get. Please stop.
Okay. Good afternoon everybody. Respected Right Reverend Puritos Canning, Chief Patron of this national level webinar and President Board of Governors, Union Christian Training College. Due to his busy schedule, he is not being able to present over here. Respected Reverend David Rai, Patron of this conference and Secretary Board of Governors, Union Christian Training College. He is also due to his hectic schedule unable to join through this virtual mode. Respected Dr. Shasim Koviraj Thakur, Principal Union Christian Training College. Respected Dr. Gopal Chandra Pal, IQAC Coordinator, Union Christian Training College. Respected Dr. Shubhabrata Kaur, MAC Coordinator, Union Christian Training College. Our esteemed resource speakers of the day, Professor Rajiv Chaudhuri and Dr. Monmoto Gharate, and my learned friends. This year, we are celebrating the birth of Professor Omiyo Kumar Kisu, our former principal of this esteemed institution. And as per the direction of state government, we are observing Student Week from 2nd January to 7th January. This is the closing, or you can say concluding session of our Students Week program. The theme of the national webinar is divided into two sections: concept of research in social science and importance of yogic practice in modern times. At present, there are two departments, B.P.Ed affiliated by University of Kolkata as well as B.Ed
কিছু শোনা যাচ্ছে না।
Hello, technical issues are there. That's why the electricity is not here right now. I am joining through this mobile phone. And we are also running one add-on course such as Diploma in Yogic Education affiliated by Netaji Subhas Open University. Most of our faculties are pursuing their PhD work, and our students are thinking to carry out the research work. So this is a further future preparation for them. The concept of research, type of research, how to look at the research problem, etc., are important aspects. In the second session, yoga is an important part. Session of yoga, that is, the yoga is an important part of our life. Some misleading concept is propagating nowadays. People are thinking yoga as a substitute of exercise. But actually, Indian traditional yogic philosophy is leading towards well-being and towards the ultimatum of the spirituality. Our first resource speaker is Professor Rajiv Chaudhary, who is related with me since last 25 years. He is very knowledgeable and innovative researcher and academician. And last few years, he is working as a resource person in n number of conference, seminars, workshops, and faculty development programs with great reputations. Hope you will learn a lot in the area of research in social science. I am extremely happy to say that despite of his busy schedule, he is presenting his insights virtually. Thank you, Professor. Our first speaker is Dr. Gharote sir. He is an expert and stalwart in the field of traditional and modern yogic education in India. He is also working a lot for the promotion of yoga globally and constantly working as resource person of good number of conferences and workshops globally. I am extremely honored that he will deliver his ideas of traditional yogic practice in the modern context. Hope you will learn a lot from this national webinar and able to apply in your practical field. I wish a great success of these webinars and may conclude with a wishing of one and everybody a happy New Year 2023. Thanks a lot. Over to Dr. Kaur.
Dr. Kaur is requested to quicken the program.
Thank you, Mr. Babu. Now I am very much proud to introduce Dr. Rajiv Chaudhary, Professor in Physical Education and also Dean Student Welfare, Pandit Ravi Shankar Supra University, Raipur. He was the former head School of Studies in Physical Education, former Dean Faculty of Physical Education, head School of Studies in Law, and I am very much proud to announce that he is the visiting professor Jan Dolz University, Częstochowa, Poland, and also visiting professor Trier University of Applied Science, Trier, Germany. Now, sir, I invite you to giving a speech in concept of research in social science. Welcome, sir. And I request audience to hear Mr. Chaudhary in his valuable speech in research orientation. So, sir, please deliver your speech.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Am I audible?
You are audible and your language we are hearing very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Respected Principal of the College, Dr. S.K. Thakurji, Organizing Secretary and the man behind this show, Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay, today's resource person, Dr. Gharote, Director, Lonavala Yoga Institute, Dr. G.C. Pal, Dr. Kar, participants, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers, especially to Principal of the College and Organizing Secretary, my senior from LNIP, from Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education. We completed our education from the same institute, and Dr. Kishore was my senior. I am directed by Dr. Kishore to speak on the title, Concept of Research in Social Science. Ladies and gentlemen, before starting my presentation, I would like to share a quote. I request to the participants, please mute your mic, please. Dr. Kar, I think your mic is on. Dr. Kar.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Before starting my presentation, I would like to share a quote regarding the significance of research given by an eminent personality. Anything without research is like shooting an arrow into the air, then looking for the target to catch it with. This quote by eminent personality from the field of research give a great importance, tells us about the great significance of research. So without wasting time, let's discuss about basic concept of social science research, basic concept in social science research. Dr. Kishore, is it visible on the full screen?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
Yes.
fine.
For better conversation, I divided my presentation into 5 different parts. First, we will discuss about the approaches of research, since we follow different approaches. In the second part, that is the most important, I will discuss about the basic meaning. In the third part, we will discuss about the classification of types of research. In the fourth part, we will discuss about the steps of research if the time permits. In the last part, we will discuss about the data analysis. Since Dr. Kishore allotted me only 1 hour, it is very difficult to discuss about all issues regarding the basic concept of research in social science in the limited duration of time, but I will try my level best. Let's start with the approaches. Ladies and gentlemen, as a researcher, we follow 2 different approaches. The first approach is known as the theory development approach. This is based on logics, whereby scientific laws are inferred from the particular facts or observational evidences. On the other hand, the second approach is testing theory instead of theory development. This testing theory approach, this second approach emphasizes that theories came first, then the observations. According to these, a group that follow testing theory approach, these are known as deductivists. As per these, inductivism, it means who follow theory development approach. Inductivism is invalid because scientific theories cannot be proved by a particular observation. We will discuss in very brief about both the types of approaches, theory development and testing theory. This theory development approach is known as a qualitative approach, and this is known as inductivism. And in this, a researcher creates a new theory, and these are conducted by taking larger data, by gathering larger data. On the other hand, the testing theory approach is known as the quantitative approach instead of qualitative approach. Instead of inductivism, this is known as deductivism. But the important point is there is no sharp line dividing these 2 approaches. We do deductive. By we, I mean in the field of social science, maybe humanities, maybe physical education, maybe education, maybe management studies. We do deductive. Since we do earlier studies, we study review of related literature. But our method is a mixed approach. You will be agree with my statement. Our method of conducting research in the field of social science is a mixed method consisting of qualitative as well as quantitative approach that includes both theory development approach and testing theory approach. That includes both inductivism and deductivism. Let's start with the meaning in this. After discussing about the brief discussion of the approaches, I will proceed to the next part of my presentation, that is meaning. What do you mean by research? Let's start with the derived approach. Let's start with the derived meaning. This word consists of two words. Re plus search is known as research. We all know that. And we also know that creation of new knowledge is known as in research, but the condition applies. That should be acceptable in the society. If it's not acceptable in the society, that cannot be considered as a part of research. Re means again, search means to find out. It means to find out again is again and again is known as research as per the derived meaning. But the question arises, since we as a researcher are very curious by nature, the question arises in our mind, what is the need to find out again and again? If to find out again and again is known as research, it means the solution of any problem again becomes a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, in the field of research, there is no standard answer. When the standard answer is established, that is known as the theory. Since there is no standard answer in the field of research, there is a need to find out again and again. And now we will discuss about the meaning in the form of a process. Research is a process that starts from a problem and that solution. And in this process, we do different types of activities. We identify the problem, we collect data, we analyze data, etc. If we do more than one activity, that is known as a process. So research is a process, whereas activities are carried out to find out the solution of any problem. But we have to carry out these activities. We have to carry out this process systematically by following a sequence. Now we have established a standard definition. Research is a process whereas activities are carried out systematically to find out the solution of any problem. This is a standard definition of research. We have discussed about two different meanings. Again, I repeat, one meaning is based on the derived approach. Second meaning is based on research as a process. One more issue we will discuss in this. What is the origin of any problem? From where the problem originates? Since we conduct research by taking a particular problem, the problem originates from choice, variety. Where there is a choice, there is a problem. Where there is a variety, there is a problem. Where there is a variance, there is a problem. But these choice, variety, variance, these are the terms which are not closely associated with the research. There is a word in front of you, variable. The origin of any problem is variable. So what do you mean by variable? Variable is a characteristic that has the tendency to change with respect to time, place, and individual. In the field of physical education, there is a long list of variables: psychological variables, stress, anxiety, aggression, excellence, state anxiety, trait anxiety, sports competition anxiety. There is a long list of physiological variables: neutrophil counts, basophil counts, eosinophil counts, leukocytes, RBC counts, positive breath holding capacity, negative breath holding capacity, resting heart rate, resting respiratory rate. There is a long list of variables, maybe biomechanical variables, maybe kinesiological variables. So origin of any problem is variable. First, we have to identify the variables. By taking that, we conduct the researches. Now, in this second part, in the meaning, we have discussed, again I repeat, three different issues. First one is a derived approach. To find out the again and again is known as research. The second is research as a process, whereas activities are carried out systematically to find out the solution of a problem. In the third part, we have discussed about the origin of any problem. Origin is variable. Now, we will discuss about the different types of variables, since we conduct our studies by taking different types of variables. Different authors classified and described variables in different forms. if we discuss about the types of variables, we will discuss about two different types of classifications given by different authors by taking a different basis. First is on the basis of a causal model. This causal model concept is used to conduct experimental studies. If an investigator wants to conduct any experimental study, this causal model applies. As per the causal model, we classify variables into three different categories. First one is independent variable. Let us formulate a title: effect of morning walk on blood pressure. This is our hypothetical title. In this, morning walk is considered, in this hypothetical title, morning walk is considered as independent variable. That is known as a treatment. And second one is confounding variables. Confounding variables, the variables which are beyond the control of investigator but affect the study. And these are sub-classified into two categories: intervening, these are beyond our control, and extraneous, to a great extent we can control. In intervening variables, we can say beyond control, climatic conditions. In extraneous variables, to a great extent we can control food habits, lifestyle. And the third type of variable is known as dependent variable. Our hypothetical title is effect of morning walk on blood pressure. In this hypothetical title, dependent variable is blood pressure. This is the classification on the basis of causal model. Independent, confounding. Dependent and confounding is divided into two categories: intervening and extraneous. Second one is, if on the basis of the unit of measurement we classify all the variables into different categories, we classify into four different categories. First one is a nominal scale. When we measure any variable in a frequency or count in a discrete series, number of agree, number of disagree, number of pass, number of excellent, and this nominal scale can be in the dichotomous form. Dichotomy means dicho means two, having two ends. Smoking, smokers, non-smokers, divided into two categories. That may be polytomies. Polytomies means divided in more than two categories, maybe a race, classified as Chinese, Indians, Americans, Germans, Polish, etc. And second one is a ordinal scale. Second one is a ordinal scale. Ordinal scale means when we collect data in an order, maybe a descending order, maybe in an ascending order, that is known as ordinal scale. This ordinal scale, for example, if we want to measure a severity of pain, we may say we have a high pain, medium pain, low pain, etc. If these are the examples of ordinal scale. Next one is interval scale. Interval scale means having same intervals in between but has no fixed zero. Example is anxiety, stress, depression. And ratio scale means having same intervals in between but has a fixed zero. Examples are weight, height, etc. So we have discussed about two different types of classifications of variables. One is based on the causal model, another is based on the unit of measurement. After the brief description of the concept of variables, I will discuss about the different types of researches. Same as classification of variables, to classify research in different subtypes, we require a base. If on the basis of the sources of data, we classify the research into different parts, we classify only into two categories. One is quantitative research, another is qualitative research. Ladies and gentlemen, quantitative researches are conducted on the basis of variables, and we have discussed about the meaning of variable. On the other hand, qualitative researches are conducted on the basis of attributes. It means the qualitative characteristic that cannot be measured in a numeric value. Example is beauty. Another example is severity of pain. Then the question may arise in the mind of a researcher: can we convert one type of research into another type of research? Can we convert quantitative research into qualitative research, or qualitative into quantitative? Variables can be converted into attributes, but attributes cannot be converted into exact variables. So quantitative researches cannot be converted into qualitative, can be converted into qualitative, but not vice versa. But it is advised by the eminent scholars not to convert one type of research into another type of research. Why? If we convert one type of research into another type of research, there will be loss of information in between, and the probability of success will not be maximum. And any researcher want to attain the maximum probability of success. Due to this reason, if we are having variables, we should conduct quantitative. If we have attributes, we should conduct qualitative researches. This classification is the main classification that is favored by different authors on the basis of methodology. On the basis of methodology, we can divide the research into 5 different categories. First one is experimental research, that is based on the survey studies, historical and philosophical. And the last category, 5th categories, are the case studies. Experimental research, that is based on the future. Anything that is based on an experiment that will be conducted in the future, that is known as experiment. But ladies and gentlemen, in the language of research, maximization of treatment variance and minimization of error variance. If we conduct any research on the basis of this principle, that is known as experimental. Survey studies based on present. Since to conduct surveys, we collect data from the present status. Historical, any research which is based on meaningful past is considered as historical. Philosophical, based on vision, views, ideas, and concepts. Case studies based on any social unit. There is a long list of social unit: individual, community, college, university, caste, class, community. We can conduct case studies. But this survey study, the second one, is sub-classified into different subcategories: comparative survey, relationship studies, prediction studies, and descriptive studies. So we have discussed about 2 different types of classifications. One is based on sources of data, and this one is based on methodology. Let's proceed to the 3rd types of classification on the basis of scope and utility. If on the basis of scope and utility, we classify the whole area of research, we classify only into 3 categories. First one is action research, second one is applied research, and third one is basic research. Action research is based on that solve situational problems. The scope is very narrow. This solve situational problems. Applied researches are also known as experimental researches. Scope is a reason. Basic research is also known as fundamental research or theoretical research or pure research. If we conduct the same applied research at different timings and different reasons, if the results are same, that becomes a basic. On the basis of that, we establish the principles. And in relation to the 3rd type of classification, on the basis of involvement of subjects, I will not discuss about this classification, since this is related to biomedical researches. Since I am discussing about the basic concept of social science research, I will not discuss in detail about this classification. That is human researches or animal researches. I will not discuss about that. So now I will proceed to the next part of my presentation. That is the steps of research. Now we will discuss about the steps of research. I will discuss about the whole journey in the field of social science, steps of research. First step is identification of problem. So what do you mean by identification of problem? Ladies and gentlemen, let us take an example of a psychology. Is it homogeneous field or heterogeneous field? Your answer will be it's a heterogeneous field. My another question is, can we conduct any study by taking heterogeneous field? No, we have to reduce the heterogeneity. From the field of psychology, investigator has taken motivation. Is it motivation heterogeneous, homogeneous? We will say it's also heterogeneous. Again, we have to reduce the heterogeneity. From the field of motivation, we have taken the only one variable, incentive motivation. So identification of variable is nothing. Reducing heterogeneity of any subject is known as identification of problem. Then the question arises, to which extent we have to reduce the heterogeneity? Answer is, we have to reduce the heterogeneity till the selection of variables. Now, I will discuss about 3 different points. 3 steps. By following that, yes, we can say, yes, we have reduced the heterogeneity and we have identified the problem. First step is define variable. Second is title writing. Third one is objective writing. All these are the part of the identification of problem as per the eminent scholars from the field of research. Define variable. We have to define what is independent variable, what is dependent variable, what is confounding in the category of confounding, what is intervening, and what is extraneous. Title writing, we should take care about that. There are three qualities should be present, three characteristics should be present in a good title. The title should talk about variable, the title should talk about methodology, the title should talk about population. Today we have framed one title, effect of morning walk on blood pressure. Is it a good title? Yes, this title possesses variable methodology, but there is no description of population in this. The complete title will be effect of morning walk on the blood pressure of Calcutta females. We have to describe variable, methodology, and population in a title. And objective writing, we can write any type of objective in any by following any type of language or sentence. For example, the object in this hypothetical title, the objective of the study shall be to find out the effect of morning walk on the females of Calcutta. Main question is, can we write objective in interrogative sentences? Yes, there is a trend nowadays. We can write objective in interrogative sentences. Is there any effect of morning walk on the blood pressure of Calcutta females? Yes, we can write in this form also. So we have discussed about the first step, that is identification of problem. In the second step is the formulation of hypothesis. What do you mean by hypothesis? Many scholars believe that tentative answer, tentative guess, tentative assumption is known as hypothesis. No, every tentative assumption cannot be considered as hypothesis. Ladies and gentlemen, only intelligent assumptions are known as hypothesis. That should be testable. Suppose if we toss a coin, what will happen? We can hypothesize it will there will be tail or there will be head. We cannot say if we toss a coin, the coin will remain in the air. No, this type of statement should not be there. That should be testable. Only intelligent assumptions are known as hypothesis. If we discuss about the type, many researchers believe that there are two types of hypothesis, null and alternate. No, these are the forms of hypothesis. Types are research, statistical, and operational. Research hypothesis is when we use the word relationship. That may be in the null form, that may be in the alternate form. Statistical, in this we use the word difference. This also may be in null form or alternate form. And the third, that is considered as the best hypothesis, that is specific to a study, that is known as operational hypothesis. But we have to formulate hypothesis on the basis of a base. Then the question arises, what is the base to formulate hypothesis? We know that literature is the base to formulate. We go through the literature. On the basis of the literature, on the basis of the previous studies, we formulate the hypothesis. If we search the literature related to our proposed topic, two situations may arise. One is literature is available, second one is non-availability. In case of the availability, there may be two chances. Sufficient literature is available, insufficient literature is available. Ladies and gentlemen, non-availability of literature is a strong base to formulate a null hypothesis. But nowadays, in every field, literature is available. So it's clear we should not formulate null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is best when there is no strong base, there is no related literature. In that case, we have to formulate null hypothesis. Insufficient literature cannot be considered as a base to formulate hypothesis. So in case of insufficient also, we have to formulate null. And in case of sufficient, two situations may arise. There is a homogeneity in findings and there is heterogeneity in findings. If there is sufficient literature and there is a homogeneity in findings, then we have to follow their findings, either null or alternate. And in case of insufficient findings, we have to formulate null hypothesis. If the sufficient literature is available and there is a heterogeneity in findings, in that case, we have to formulate operational hypothesis that is specific to your study. It means in operational hypothesis, we have to explain independent and dependent variable in detail. For example, our hypothetical example is effect of morning walk on blood pressure. If we want to formulate hypothesis, it is hypothesized that there shall not be any effect of morning walk on blood pressure if the morning walk is performed in the morning in such and such humidity in this environmental condition with this intensity, and the blood pressure is measured immediately after the completion of morning walk. It means in operational hypothesis, we have to explain independent and dependent variable in detail. So we have discussed about the two steps of social science research. Please try to recall. In the first step, we have discussed about the identification of problem. In the second step, we have discussed about the formulation of hypothesis. The third step is the collection of data. From where we collect data? We collect data in the form of a sample by the population. Why? We know that sample represent the entire population. The characteristics which are present in sample, we believe that these are present in population also. So this is a representative of entire population. There is a word, we should have an idea about the word frame. Frame means knowledge of each and every unit of the population is known as frame. In our hypothetical title, in our today's hypothetical title, effect of morning walk on Calcutta females. What is the frame of population? Frame of population is Calcutta females. Can we conduct any study without frame of the population? Yes. For example, if any researcher want to conduct a study on the pickpocketers of Calcutta, we don't know. If we have an idea about five pickpocketers, no one will tell, yes, I am pickpocketer. So frame may be known, frame may not be known. Ladies and gentlemen, if the frame of population is known, we have to use probability sampling technique. There is a long list: random sampling, stratified random sampling, cluster, sequential, multi-stage, etc. If the frame is not known, in that case, we have to use non-probability sampling technique for a true representation. For example, ice ball sampling, judgment sampling, convenient sampling, etc. So we have discussed about the three main steps of research in social science. First, we have discussed about identification of problem. In the second, we have discussed about formulation of hypothesis. And in the third, we have discussed about the collection of data. After the collection of data, we have another step. We have fourth step in front of us, that is known as analysis of data. This is the main. Every researcher should develop a concept, should develop a vision, which statistical technique is used to analyze, in which situation, in which experimental design, in which research design. So we will discuss about these statistical techniques in the fourth step. Ladies and gentlemen, next step is analysis of data. To analyze data, we require statistical techniques. And these statistical techniques are known as inferential statistics. Since by applying these techniques, we draw inferences. But there are some limitations of statistics. We should keep in our mind about the limitations also. It is not possible to discuss about all the limitations of statistics in the limited duration of time, but I will discuss about two different limitations every researcher should keep in the entirety of his or her mind, especially young researchers. First limitation is statistical laws are not exact. By the help of the application of statistical tool, after analysis, we get a probable answer, not 100% truth. Due to this reason, there is a concept of level of significance. In the field of social science, we conduct our studies at 0.05 level of significance. Our confidence level is only 90%, 95%. So first limitation is statistical laws are not exact. Second one is statistics is liable to be misused. and we may misuse intentionally as well as unintentionally. So all inferential statistics are classified into two subcategories, parametric and non-parametric statistics. We directly apply parametric to analyze data, but no, it's not a good practice. To apply parametric statistics, some assumptions should be fulfilled. Otherwise, we have to apply a parallel non-parametric technique. Among all assumptions, the common assumptions are normality of data. The data should be normally distributed. First we have to test the normality. If the data is normally distributed, we have to apply parametric. Otherwise, we have to apply parallel non-parametric technique. Second one is at least interval or ratio scale is required. We have discussed in the classification of variables on the basis of the scale of measurement. We classify into four categories: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, ratio scale. Among these four scale of measurements, we can apply parametric in case of only two, that is interval or ratio. It means we cannot apply parametric in case of a nominal or ordinal scale. But on the other hand, non-parametric technique can be applied in any distribution and in any scale of measurement. So the first step in front of the researcher is to test the normality. Why? We have to decide as investigator whether we have to apply parametric or we have to apply non-parametric. So we will discuss about how to check the normal distribution. Normal distribution means having maximum concentration of the scores at the center and the frequency tapers at both the ends. That is known as a bell-shaped curve. That is known as a Gaussian curve. So how to test the normality? There are three methods by using that we can test the normality. First one is descriptive, second one is graphical method, third one is formal test. What do you mean by descriptive statistics? By hearing the word descriptive statistics, measures of central tendency and measures of variability comes in front of our mind. Measures of central tendency means mean, median, mode. Measures of variability means range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation. No, we do not require all measures. Out of all descriptive measures, we require only 4 to test the normality, skewness, standard error of skewness, kurtosis, and standard error of kurtosis. We have to calculate these values. If the value of skewness is less than standard error of skewness, and if the value of kurtosis is less than the standard error of kurtosis, it means data is normally distributed. Or we can keep in mind a thumb rule. Thumb rule is if the value of skewness and kurtosis, if the value of both is in between -1 to 1, that means data is normal. We can directly apply parametric. Otherwise, we have to apply parallel non-parametric technique. Second one is a graphical method. Graphical method means that this is known as QQ plot. We know that in a graph there is x-axis, there is a y-axis. A standard line is generated and all the scores should be scattered near to this line. If all the scores are scattered near to this line, it means data is normal. Otherwise, data is non-normal. Third one is a formal test. There is a long list of formal tests. These formal tests are constructed or established to test the normality only. These tests are, I will discuss about only 4 tests: KST, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, SWT, Shapiro-Wilk test, ADT, Anderson-Darling test, and RJT, Ryan-Joyner test. The SPSS, Statistical Package for Social Science, that software provide us the facility of first 2 tests. First 2 formal tests, that is KST, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and Shapiro-Wilk test. The facility of ADT, Anderson-Darling test, and RJT, Ryan-Joyner test is available in other softwares, for example, in Minitab. So, by using these 3 methods, we can test the normality. But one point all young researchers should keep in their mind: the testing normality depends on the sample size, and there are 3 different types of sample sizes: small sample, moderate sample, and large sample. Small sample means if we conduct our study by taking less than 30, consider it as a small. If we conduct our study by taking in between 30 to 100 units, that is known as moderate sample size. If we conduct any study by taking more than 100 units, 100 and more, that is known as large sample. The methodology to test normality will be different for all these three categories. I will not discuss in detail since Dr. Kishore allotted me only 1 hour and the main part is pending. We will discuss about the analysis of data in detail. Again, I repeat, we are discussing about the fourth step, analysis of data. For that, we require statistical techniques, and we divided all statistical techniques into two parts, parametric and non-parametric. And we have also discussed to apply parametric, we have to test the normality. If the normal data is there, we have to apply parametric, otherwise parallel non-parametric techniques applied. We will discuss about 5, 6, 7 techniques. We divide this parametric, that first category, into different types: comparative statistics and relationship statistics. And comparative statistics means smallest comparison is possible in between two groups. Then more than two groups, the comparison by taking covariate, and same as in a relationship, the smallest relationship is possible in between two variables, then more than two variables, then regression. Let's start with the first, comparison between two groups. If we want to compare two groups, the technique which is used is known as t-test. T-test is a statistical technique used to find out the significant difference between the means of two samples. Actually, by the help of t-test, we find out the mean between the two independent samples. There are three different types of t-test. First one is independent sample t-test. Second one is a dependent t-test, and third one is one sample t-test. Let's discuss one by one. Let's start with the independent t-test. Independent t-test is used to compare two independent groups. Let's formulate a title: comparison of anxiety between males and females. There are two groups, males and females. Both are independent, both are separate. To find out the difference between these two groups is the technique which is used is known as independent t-test. This t-test is used to conduct survey studies. Which type of survey? Comparative survey. Next one is dependent t-test. On the other hand, dependent t-test is used to conduct experimental studies. Effect of morning walk on blood pressure. First we have to take pre-test, then in between we have to provide morning walk treatment, then post-test. To find out the difference between the two different observations of the same group, the technique which is applied is known as dependent t-test. In independent t-test, there are two columns. In our hypothetical example, male, female. In this dependent t-test also, we have two columns in the form of a pre and post, two different observations of same group. And next one is one sample t-test. One sample t-test is used to compare a group with a specified constant. In the field of physical education, we can use this one sample t-test to compare a group with a target, to compare a group with a normative value, to compare a group with a specified constant. So there are three. So we should take care about the application of three different types of t-tests. All the three compare two different columns, but in three different ways. Next one is the technique which is used to compare more than two groups is known as ANOVA, analysis of variance. I will not discuss about the different types of analysis of variances. I will discuss about only two different types of analysis of variances. First is one-way ANOVA. In layman's language, we can say that one-way ANOVA is an extension of independent t-test. What was our example of independent t-test? Comparison of anxiety between males and females. If we want to extend this, the technique which is used to compare more than two groups, let's formulate a title: comparison of anxiety between arts, commerce, and science students instead of two, that is male, female. In this example, we have three groups: arts students, commerce students, and science students. The columns may be, the groups may be 3, 4, 5 of n numbers. Both independent t-test and one sample t-test, both are used to conduct survey studies, since one-way ANOVA is an extension of independent t-test, and that design which is used to conduct these studies is known as static group comparison design. If any researcher is using static group comparison design, in that case, the researcher will apply, if there are two groups, he or she will apply independent t-test. If there are more than 2 groups, in that case, he or she will apply one-way ANOVA. Next one is repeated measure analysis of variance, repeated measure ANOVA. We have discussed that one-way ANOVA is an extension of independent t-test, and this repeated measure ANOVA is an extension of this dependent t-test. And what was our example of dependent t-test? Effect of morning walk on blood pressure. We have 2 observations, pre and post. We compare 2. That technique which is used to compare more than 2 observations of the same group is known as repeated measure ANOVA. Instead of 2 observations in the form of a pre and post, we can take more than 2. That is pre-test, mid-2, and final test. So we have n number of observations in this. We can find out the linear trend, we can find out the quadratic trend, we can find out the cubic trend, 4th order, 5th order, and so on. We can find out all the trends. So it is not possible to discuss about the application of all the statistical techniques in the limited duration of time. We have discussed about the application of 5 different techniques. Again, I repeat: independent t-test, dependent t-test, one sample t-test, one-way ANOVA, repeated measure ANOVA. But all these 5 techniques are applied when the data is normally distributed. Suppose the data is non-normally distributed. In that case, what we have to do? We have to apply parallel non-parametric technique. So we should discuss about the all parallel non-parametric technique of all these 5 techniques. Let's start with the first. The parallel non-parametric technique of independent t-test is known as Mann-Whitney U-test. Both independent t-test and Mann-Whitney U-test both serve the same purpose. Both compare 2 independent groups, but independent t-test is applied in case of normality, normal distribution, and in Mann-Whitney U-test is applied in case of non-normal distribution. The second technique is dependent t-test. We know that we have already discussed that dependent t-test is used in case of normal distribution. Same parallel non-parametric technique of dependent t-test is known as Wilcoxon matched paired signed rank test. Again, I repeat, Wilcoxon matched paired signed rank test is a parallel non-parametric technique of dependent t-test. One is used in case of normal distribution, another non-normal distribution. Let's proceed to the third, one sample t-test. The parallel non-parametric technique of one sample t-test is known as a sign test. Now, fourth technique in our sequence is one-way ANOVA, one-way analysis of variance. The parallel non-parametric technique of one-way analysis of variance is a Kroskal-Wallis test. But there is no parallel non-parametric technique of repeated measure ANOVA. In that case, we have to make pairs, and we have to apply the same parallel non-parametric technique of dependent t-test, that is known as Wilcoxon matched paired signed rank test. So we have discussed about 9 different techniques: independent t-test, Mann-Whitney U-test; dependent t-test, Wilcoxon matched paired signed rank test; one sample t-test, sign test; one-way ANOVA, Kroskal-Wallis test; and the 9th technique is repeated measure ANOVA. In that case also, in case of non-parametric, we have to apply the parallel non-parametric technique of dependent t-test, that is Wilcoxon matched paired signed rank test. So only 10 minutes are remaining. I will ask from the organizer, especially Dr. Kishore. I want to show the how to analyze data. If any researcher has his or her interest about the application of one-way ANOVA, independent t-test, dependent t-test, or we have a facility on Excel also, on SPSS also. So I will start from Dr. Kishore. Is it visible?
Yes.
I am going to show on this Excel how to, but active participation of any subject is required. He will cooperate me. Subject, who will cooperate me? Who will? it will be two-way interaction, not one-way interaction. I interacted with one way. Now we will interact in two-way. Who will cooperate me? Please, any volunteer? Okay, Dr. Kishore, what was our example of independent test? Comparison of anxiety between males and females. Agree?
Yes, yes.
How many
Yes,
males
you
we
can
have
proceed.
taken? How many males we have taken? Suppose
20.
20. How many females?
Same number, 20.
Same number, 20, 20. Total number of subject is 40, 20 male, 20 female. And we want to compare anxiety, whether both possesses the same level of anxiety or not. We have to apply independent t-test. We will calculate by using this Excel, as well as after that we will calculate by using SPSS also. I am entering these scores. We have, as per our discussion, we have two groups. One is male. Is it visible?
Yes, clearly visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Second one is females, and I am entering the anxiety scores of males. How many subjects we are having in males?
20, sir.
20.
20,
You
yes.
have to go 21 cell.
Yes. Now females, how many subjects we are having in females?
Same number.
Same
20.
number, yes. I entered all 20 scores.
You have to go one more cell.
Yes, yes, yes. Since in the first we have added the heading. Yes, you are right. Yes. Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now go to data. See, are you seeing this data analysis icon? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Any student, any participant? Any participant? Where is my cursor? Where is my cursor?
Data analysis.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
click on data analysis. Now, see, where is this is command for independent t-test. T-test 2 sample assuming equal variances. Select this, click on OK. Now go to variable in front of variable 1 range, click on this arrow, select all the scores. Again, click on the same arrow. Now go to variable 2 range, click on the arrow, select all scores. Again, click on the arrow, opt for labels and click on OK. The result will be in front of you. Now, please tell me, only participants, please tell me, what is the mean value of males? Any participant, please. What is the mean value of male?
64.6.
And for females?
60.3.
And what is the t value? 0.95. And this is the critical value. P for two tail, this is 0.34. If this value is less than 0.05, it means difference is there in this. Since this value is not less than 0.05, it's greater than 0.05, it means there is no significant difference between the anxiety level of males and females. Both males and females possesses the same level of anxiety. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Please mute. Please remember all the values. We will do the same. We will do the same by using SPS. Is there any need to calculate by the help of SPSS? Dr. Kishore, is it?
If you want, you can show, but they had a very little knowledge on SPSS.
Okay, no problem. Yani, there is no need to use SPSS. They can calculate at the initial level. They can calculate this on this.
Okay, you can proceed.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, only 5 minutes left. You can ask any, I think, question and answer session should be there. If any participant want to ask any type of question, he or she can ask.
Actually, I am asking one question. What is
Yes.
the difference between parallel group design and stratified group design?
What is the difference between parallel design and
Stratified group design.
Dr. Kishore? Different authors classified all designs, research designs or experimental designs in their own way. So it is very difficult to explain about that. For example, let us discuss about an example. If we talk about the repeated measure design, some authors described repeated means all treatments are given to, every treatment is given to every subject. And some authors described pre-test, mid-test, final test in this way. So I do not have an idea about parallel design or stratified design. I have discussed about I have gone through the classification as per the book written by Best, as well as Dr. H. Harrison Clark and David H. Clark. And these both are the known name. One is in the field of education and another in the field of physical education. But I didn't care about these designs.
Great. Okay, sir. So if there is any question, you can ask. Otherwise, you can write the question in the chat box also. We can respond with you later on. If there is any question, you can please write it down in the chat box.
I am asking you one question. I am asking you one question. How analysis of variance is associated with level of measurement, that is interval or ratio, nominal or ordinal.
Sir, please repeat the question.
ANOVA is associated with how analysis of variance is associated with the level of measurement, that is interval or ratio or ordinal or nominal.
Strictly, analysis of variance is associated with only in case of interval or ratio scale. We cannot apply analysis of variance ANOVA in case of nominal and ordinal scale. In case of nominal scale, if we are having the categorical data in the form of a dichotomous or in the form of a polytomous, in that case we have to apply chi-square.
Okay. Actually, for independent variable, can we apply the analysis of variance?
Yes,
independent
we cannot
variable.
apply analysis of variance in case of nominal scale. We cannot apply.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech, and we all very much proud to meet you in this occasion, and our participants are very much helpful about by your valuable speech. Now, thank you, sir, for your presence, and now I would like to introduce Mr. Bhagirathi. He is the director of the Lonavala Yoga Institute. He is having PhD in physical education, which is first PhD from Mumbai University. He was written and published more than 25 publications based on ancient manuscripts, and some are as follows: therapeutic references in traditional yoga texts, and another contribution of Swami Koivallonath in the fields of yoga and physical education, and others, different types of texts are there. And he has conducted more than 125 yoga seminars in Latin America countries such as Argentina, Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, European countries as Germany, Italy, Norway, Portugal, Asian countries as Thailand and Sri Lanka. Recently, he conducted more than 100 online seminars in all over the world. He also conducted 10 international yoga conferences and 4 international yoga workshops. Under his guidance, 4 students completed PhD physical education and 14 students complete MPhil physical education. He is advisor of several international yoga organizations. He received several national and international awards Recently, he receives Delete Doctor of Letters Yoga Honoris Causa, and I am very much thankful, and our college is very much proud to meet Dr. Monmato Bhagirathi to welcome in this dais to give his valuable presentation to our students. Now, sir, please give your presentation to us and welcome you again in this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir, I am already seeing your presentation.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Very good afternoon to everyone. Respected dignitaries, organizers, my dear friend Dr. Kishorji, previous speaker and a scholar Dr. Rajivji, and my brothers and sisters. It is a great opportunity to speak something about the topic which is given to me, and that is importance of yogic practices in modern times. In the previous session, we have seen beautiful explanation about the research methodology. And now I would like to take you at some different level. And when we talk about yoga, basically 3 questions we have to understand today, as time is very short, 1 hour is there. But we try to understand some salient points as far as topic is concerned. So some question we would like to think about. One is, what is the meaning of ancient wisdom or ancient yoga? Because we know yoga is very ancient subject. Unfortunately, most of the people, they don't know. They consider it is a modern practice. But it is very ancient wisdom. Maybe 5,000 years old, 10,000 years old. The second question, what is the importance of real understanding of yoga in modern era today? And third is, what is the real message of yoga today for modern era? So we try to find the answers for those questions in nutshell, and definitely we try to reach up to some conclusion today related to this topic. So when we talk about this ancient wisdom of yoga, we know yoga is an ancient discipline and it came to us from different traditions. But unfortunately, one period came in the history when most of the traditions disappeared, and that is the reason why modern teachers are deprived with this real understanding of yoga. And that's why today, at some parts, we still feel that it's a chaos situation as far as yoga is concerned. Because people, they don't know really what is yoga today. Unfortunately, people consider yoga is just physical acrobatic. But today we have to understand what really yoga does mean, and then only it is possible for us to utilize this yoga for our betterment. So this yoga came to us from different traditions. And basically there were 3 different traditions. The one was subtle tradition, another was the oral tradition, and third was the written tradition. What is subtle tradition? What is oral tradition? And what is written tradition? Subtle tradition, you will be surprised to hear, this tradition means Guru Shishya Parampara. This yogic knowledge came to us from different tradition, from Guru Shishya Parampara, teacher disciple relationship, and you will be surprised. This subtle tradition was very interesting. The master just remember the student, just gazing the student, just touching the student, and knowledge was transferred. The second tradition was oral tradition about yoga. The master used to speak and used to guide the student, and that is called oral tradition. But third is, which is called written tradition. All the great masters, they have written everything in the form of ancient manuscripts by which we are capable to understand what yoga is. And number of manuscripts are still there. All such manuscripts are there. Maybe 2000 years old, 3000 years old, all the records are there. When Dr. Rajiv was talking about this literature, when he was talking about null hypothesis, specially explained about the importance of literature, and moreover, I would like to add, Dr. Rajivji, that when we talk about yoga, the ancient literature is the base of everything. Because all the great masters, they have mentioned everything in this manuscript, but unfortunately, we don't know all such beautiful records. As we are discussing today through online mode, but still I would like to show some of the very ancient manuscripts to you. Can you see those? Is it possible for you to see all such manuscripts here? So, all such manuscripts written by all the great sadhus and recluse, by which we are capable to understand what is yoga. And there are different types of yoga, different paths of yoga. They are maybe called as Raja Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Laya, Nada, Mantra. Number of paths are there. But unfortunately, those who are not part of this tradition, or those who are not part of this ancient literature, sorry to say, they use any type of useless types of yoga. You just open the websites, go to the internets, and you find all the useless and distorted styles are there. Why people from all over the world, they are coming to India? And the reason is, this is rich wisdom we have. Unfortunately, most of the people, they don't know about this. But my topic is not distorted style. My topic today is to speak something about real essence of yoga. So we have to understand first what is yoga, then only we will discuss what is the utility of this yoga. So here, when we talk about modern era, ancient yoga or authentic yoga or traditional yoga in modern era. To understand the importance of authentic yoga in modern era, first we have to understand what is modern era. And what is modern era? Modern era, we are having material prosperity. We are having everything. If you say we need one mobile, you are having two. If you say we want one vehicle, we are having three. If you say I need one house, I'm having four. Material prosperity is there. But still, internal peace is lacking. And that's why we are restless both internally and externally. Externally, prosperity is there. Internally, we are not happy. And that's why we are reaching up to the state of disintegration. And due to that, modern people are suffering with a number of problems. They are called as psychosomatic problems, stress-related problem, constipational problems. Nowadays, one big problem we see, and that is frustration. Frustration is a very interesting term, in fact. You know the definition of frustration. The psychologists made the definition of frustration very interestingly. They say frustration is a state of disparity between level of expectations and level of achievement. Maybe it is little difficult to understand. I just simplify it. What is frustration? Whatever you want, you are not getting. And whatever you got, you don't want. The gap between want and got, if it is higher, the bigger, your frustration is higher. And when frustration is higher, it affects your total personality. What we want? We want integrated personality. But unfortunately, our personality is disintegrated. And now, this is the alarming situation that modern people should find some solution for this. And what is the solution for this now? And they go for the medicines. They go for different types of medical treatment. I am not against of this. But the first question I would like to ask to all of you, what we want today? We want holistic health or we want holistic health? The new concept I would like to speak, which is called holistic health. So what is the difference between holistic and holistic? Holistic health means just cure the diseases. But holistic health means disease the disease. And when we want to disease the disease, there are three aspects. We don't want only cure, we want prevention of the diseases, we want to promote our internal faculties or systems, and then if needed, we need cure. But remember, every day another virus is coming. How far it is possible for you to run behind the virus? That's why we don't want only holistic health, we need holistic health. So I want to speak something about this holistic health because this concept is very important for the modern man. So what is this holistic health? As you all are from the field of physical education, and you know when we talk about personality, personality has 5 different aspects. They are physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. We don't want only physical fitness. We need mental stability as well. We also need emotional balance as well. We need social maturity as well. And we need spiritual upliftment as well. Unfortunately, modern man is running only behind physical fitness as physical component, or physical personality is gross personality, and all other 4 aspects of personalities are subtle. And that's why modern man is not capable to understand that they are having 4 subtle personality aspects. So that's why we don't want today only physical fitness. When we talk about integrated approach of personality, or when we talk about holistic approach of personality, we have to consider all the 5 aspects. Now, if those 5 aspects are so important, we also need to understand what is physical health then, what is mental health, what is emotional, what is social, and what is spiritual. So physical health means just efficient functioning of all the organs and system. That's all. But what is mental health? Mental health means to control your thoughts. Most of the time you feel person is physically fit, but his thoughts are not ethical. So we need mental health as well. What is emotional health? Freedom from emotional disturbances. See, most of the people, they are physically fit. But sometimes when there is a small emotional problem is there in their life, they are totally collapsed. So emotional health is also important. Remember, 2 types of personalities are there in the world when we talk about emotional health. Some people consider opportunity is a problem. They get number of opportunities in their life and they say it's a problem. But very few people are there. They say problem itself is an opportunity. Those who say problem itself is an opportunity, their emotional health is very sound. What is social health? Social health means you should know how to cope up with social problems, because society has only one game, one play, and society always try to criticize us. So you should know how to balance this social arena. And what is spiritual health? Spiritual health means peace, happiness, joy. Yoga is not talking about spirituality means go in the temple or in the mosque or in the church. If you are going, it is another topic. But spirituality for yoga is what? Spirituality is yoga for your inner peace, your happiness. So you find most of the people, they are physically fit maybe, but not mentally. Some are physically fit, not emotionally. Some are mentally fit, not physically. Some are physically fit, not spiritually. So, what is the purpose of yoga? The purpose of yoga is to achieve integrated personality. But unfortunately, this modern era kept yoga only at physical level. And this is the problem. That's why people consider yoga is acrobatic. So only 3 fundamental principles you have to understand today, and then you will understand how yoga is useful for a modern man. The first principle you have to understand is part and whole relationship. Second is relationship between the different parts. And third is equality of the parts. What is the explanation of part and whole relationship? Remember, each and every part of your personality is related to your whole personality. For example, physical personality is also related to whole. Mental personality is also related to whole. Emotional, social, and spiritual personality is also related to your whole personality. What is second principle? Relationship between the different parts. It means physical personality is related to mental, mental is related to emotional, emotional is related to social, and social is related to spiritual. And all the aspects are interrelated. What is the third golden rule? And third rule is equality or the equity, equality of all the parts. Yes, you can say physical personality is important, but mental is also important, emotional is also important, social is also important, and spiritual is also important. Here is the problem. The third fundamental principle is the problem with the modern people. Because physical personality is the gross personality, all remaining 4 personalities are subtle personalities. That's why modern common man is not capable to understand that physical is important, but all remaining 4 are also important. Yoga is practiced only and only at physical level. That's why yoga considered today, unfortunately, as physical acrobatic. But body is the mean. Through body, you have to stabilize your mind. Through body, you have to stabilize your emotion. Through body, you have to develop social maturity. And through body, you have to uplift your spiritual aspects. This is the purpose of physical personality. So here, if it is so easy to understand and within 15 minutes, you are capable to understand this, that to achieve holistic health, where is the problem? Why some are physically fit and not mentally? Why some are emotionally fit but not physically? Why some are physically fit but not socially? And the problem is there is one enemy inside who is responsible to disturb our personality. That enemy is inside us, but we consider it as a friend, and that enemy is called our mind. That's why if our mental state is disturbed, it affects at our all the 5 aspects of personality, and our whole life is collapsed. Our holistic health is collapsed. And rather to achieve integration, unfortunately, we reach up to the disintegration. So why yoga? Yoga is not for reduction of 2 kg weight. It is not for digesting pizza and burger. Sorry to say, But people consider that today because they don't know the real essence of traditional yoga. So why yoga? And yoga is to achieve proper integration between all the 5 aspects of personality. This is the meaning of yoga. So let us try to understand in simple words what is yoga, because we have to understand first what is yoga. Then only it is possible to use this yoga for betterment of modern man. So I would like to quote one definition of yoga, which you find in very ancient manuscript. The name of the manuscript is called Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and this manuscript is 2000 years old. We find the definition of yoga in this manuscript. And what is the definition of yoga? They say yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Very interesting. If we understand this, then we will understand yoga is why it is important in modern era. What is the meaning of yoga chitta vritti nirodha? The meaning is complete cessation of modification of thoughts. What is the explanation of this? It is very interesting statement. Complete cessation of modification of thoughts means what? If you see minutely, thoughts are constantly running. After one thought, second is coming. After second, third. After third, fourth. It's like a chain of thoughts. And due to this chain of thoughts, we are totally collapsed. We don't know what is to be done. For example, number of things are coming, number of thoughts are coming in our mind, and we don't know for which work we have to give preference. And then we are totally disturbed. So what is the definition of yoga? This manuscript is written by great master Patanjali, and he is not telling minimizing of 2 kg weight is yoga, to digest your pizza and burger and all the Chinese. It is not. What is the explanation? As and when we are capable to control or seize our thoughts, we should be considered as yogi. So yoga is related to mind, and through body we have to stabilize the mind. This we have to understand. So yoga is talking about only mind and mind. So if it is like that, we have to understand what is the factor which are disturbing this mind, and through mind, why it is possible, why it is going on that our personality is disturbed. So number of things are there which disturb our mind. For example, frustration is there, phobias are there, depression, conflict, negativity, anxiety, psychosomatic, stress related, all the things are there in our life. And due to that, our mental and emotional personality is totally collapsed. Today, if we really want to do something for the modern people, we have to treat the people at mental level. Unfortunately, no one is aware how to treat the mind, and this is the drawback. So if you only understand this diagram, you will understand what I am telling to you. Now, it takes just 5 minutes, but try to understand where is the problem in our life. There are 5 aspects of personality. I am telling where is the problem. That's why we have to understand this diagram. For example, we are having 5 aspects of personality: physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. Now, exactly what is going on in our life? We are part of society, and society has only one assignment. It is called FFM. You know what is the full form of FFM? It is called fault finding. Society has only one assignment: fault finding mission. Whatever we are doing, society is always there to criticize. Whatever we are doing, society is always there to blame. And then what happens inside us? Then society is hammering at our emotional level constantly by criticizing and by blaming. Then what happens? Up to certain level, we are capable to cope up the situation or hammering which is coming from the society. But after some days, after some month, after some years maybe, our emotional level is totally full and we don't know what is to be done because no one taught us when there is a emotional problems how to tackle. But this body is beautiful machine made by whomsoever. The problem which are at emotional level shifted to lower personality, that is mental level. But society has same assignment: fault finding mission, criticism, blaming. Now our emotional personality is full, still hammering is going on. For the little time, as emotional problems are shifted at mental level, we feel relief. But still hammering is going on from social arena. Now emotional personality is full and mental is also full. We don't know how to release this pressure. We don't know how to release this problem because no one has taught us. But again, this body is beautiful machine. The problem which were at emotional level shifted to mental, and again from mental to gross body, which is physical personality. But here you have to understand the play, what exactly is going on. This point you have to understand, then you will understand where is the problem. The problems are shifted from emotional to mental. But when it is shifted from mental to physical, problems are not shifted, only the symptoms of the problems are shifted. Problems are still at mental level. So if problems are still at mental level, you have to treat mental level. Why you are treating at physical level? So remember, if problems are coming from emotional to mental and from mental to physical, can it be possible you go in reverse manner, use your body or use your physical personality and train the mind? Use your personality and train the emotional personality. Is it possible? Yes, definitely it is possible. That's why yoga is not physical, it is psychophysical in nature. They say ये शारीरिक नहीं है, ये मनोकायिक है. It is meant not physical but psychophysical. You perform through body but you get results at mind level. So all the practices, maybe asana, pranayam, bandha mudra, shuddhi kriya, you perform through body, but it is not for the body, it is for the mind and emotion. Now one more personality is there which is called spiritual. As I told you, spirituality nothing to do with religion in yoga, because maybe religion is telling what to do, yoga is telling how to be, and that is the big difference. Spiritual personality means inner peace, inner joy, inner happiness, satisfaction. So if this spiritual personality is higher personality, and if you develop this personality with some of the practices such as yama, niyama, meditation, dharana, chanting of mantras, then automatically the higher personality is strongest, and whatever is coming from the society at your emotional level, automatically this problem is diluted. Remember, problem is not the problem in your life, but the problem is we don't know the solution for the problem. This is the problem. If you get solution for the problems, problems turns to opportunity. So that's why, remember, you should develop your spiritual personality in such a way that whatever problems are coming from the society, they are not capable to attack your emotional level as well as mental level. Those who are capable to understand this philosophy, they called as a monk, they stay in this materialistic world as well. But those who are not capable to understand, they are like this. They don't know what is to be done. And this is the situation of a common man. So here, it is the, where is the problem? Because as I told you, mind is important aspect in yoga. Yoga is nothing other than mind. Yoga is mind, mind and mind. So where is the problem? Where are the diseases? What is the chain of the diseases? Our all the activities are mental, remember, because they start first at mind level, because every activity mind is involved. Therefore, the process of getting sick and the cure are essentially mental processes. If every process is mental, thus all the disorders are psychosomatic. Only giving treatment to your body won't work. You should give treatment to your mind and body. Then only it is possible to achieve the success. Otherwise, it's a disaster in your life. I am not telling this. Very fearful number I would like to show you. WHO published one result in, and he is telling mental instability and illness, 1/6 of health disorders in India, 1/6 in India. Remember, it means that 20 to 25 crore people, they are suffering with mind problems. And moreover, it is a fearful situation because this data they presented in 2019, which is prior to COVID. So remember, we don't want only holistic health today. We want holistic health. We need prevention. We need promotion. So here, I'm talking about mind, mind, and mind. What is mind we have to understand. Because mind is the culprit. If you tell to the mind, sit down, mind will say, no, I want to stand. And if you tell to the mind, okay, stand, mind will say, now I want to sit. Mind is rebellious. Today, through this workshop, you have to ask to yourself one question. You are master of your mind or you are slave of your mind? If you are slave of your mind, the situation is dangerous. But if you are master of your mind, then you are master of everything. So where is the problem? Why those different thoughts and ideas and vikaras and vasanas and all those things are coming in my life? What is reason? And here we have to understand what is mind. So mind is like a beehive. मधुमक्खी का जो छत्ता होता है उस प्रकार का. It's a beehive. And all our 5 sense organs, they constantly go in external world and they collect all the impression and sanskaras and dump in the mind. And then process start. What is the process? Information picked up by the senses. 5 senses, we know, ears and nose and eyes and touch and skin, you know. They picked up by the senses, the information from external world, pass on to the mind, and then give rise to the thoughts, because this is very important. We have seen the definition of yoga. It is yoga chitta vritti nirodha. What is the meaning of this? Complete cessation of modification of thoughts. So here, give rise to the thoughts, which is opposite, which is a problematic, and then which results to the emotions, and then emotion leads to feeling. And now remember, if emotions are negative, if you develop negative emotions inside, maybe you are in Switzerland, the nature is beautiful, and if you are still having negative emotions, you are feeling bored and hateful and angry and jealous. Whereas if you develop positive emotions, maybe you are in the disaster, still you are having joyful, happy, satisfied, relaxed, trusting behavior. So remember what everyone is talking about. Everyone is talking about mind is the culprit. I would like to give one quotation about that. A beautiful sutra from Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita is talking about? Bandhuratma namastasya yainatme vatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve varte tatmeva shatruvat. What is the meaning of this? For the one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be his greatest enemy. That's why remember, today you have to decide. You are slave of your mind or you are master of your mind. So if you want to develop your real stable character, if you want to develop your real stability of the mind, it is not possible to develop within one day. It's a chain. And in that chain, there are 4 different aspects: thinking, action, habit, and character. What is the relationship of those 4 points? Remember, if you want to develop your character, stable character, great character, the first point is think. So as you think, so you act. Action leads to habit, and then habit forms the character. If your thinking is wrong, your action is wrong. Your action is wrong, your habit is wrong. And if your habit is wrong, your character is wrong or totally worst. So if you want to develop your character good, the thinking must be good, your action must be then good. If action is good, habit is good, and when habit is good, your character is good. So the first point of thinking, and that thinking is related to your mind. All the number of books, all the manuscript I got opportunity to work on, and in every ancient text which are published talking about mind, it is not possible to give all the references. Time is very short, but you can visit the website, which is Lonavla Yoga. So all the number of texts, they are talking about same thing. Life is mind game. So mind is very important. So here, as I was talking about this mind, I would like to tell you exactly where is the problem with this another concept. In yoga, the term used for this mind is chitta. This chitta is little subtle than the mind, because chitta has 3 components: mind, ego, and intellect. But they use the term chitta. And this chitta has 5 different levels. Remember, what was the definition I told you? Yoga has chitta vritti nirodha, means minimizing the thoughts, maximum stability. Less thought, more stability. More stability means successful life. But more thoughts, less stability. And if less stability is there, more problems. So let us try to understand exactly what is that. So there are 5 different levels of the mind. They are called as kshipta, mudha, vikshipta, ekagra, and niruddha. Try to understand this. This is an interesting diagram. Again, you will understand this. You will understand why yoga. Kshipta means, if you consider this circle as your mind and arrows like a thoughts, can you say this person is very stable? No. Because number of thoughts are coming. At one side, he wanted to attend the workshop. At other side, phone is coming. Other side, he has to go in the school. At fourth, he wanted to go in the supermarket to purchase something. In the evening, he's thinking the meeting is there. In the night, another party is there. Number of thoughts are there. And when more thoughts are there or more vrittis are there, then our life is totally collapsed. You might have observed this in your life. So this stage is called kshipta. Comparatively, kshipta, mudha is better, because at least thoughts are in one direction. But what is the definition of yoga? It is yoga chitta vritti nirodha, means complete cessation we want. So the third level is called Vikshipta. Comparatively, Kshipta and Mudha, this Vikshipta is good because less thoughts are there. But again, we want total cessation of the thoughts. Then Ekagra means 1 point. Comparatively, Kshipta, Mudha and Vikshipta, Ekagra is very good. But again, it's a problem. It is not ultimate because one thought is also problem because from 1 second is coming from second, third is coming from third, fourth, fifth, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1000, 2000. Number of thoughts. It's like a chain. It's like a modification. That's why maybe Ekagra is good. But again, it is not ultimate because the definition of yoga is yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. And finally, it is niruddha, means complete cessation of modification of thoughts. This is the state of a real master, real yogi. So, all the practices of yoga, remember, maybe it is yama niyama, ethical code and conducts, maybe asana like a posture, maybe pranayam like a breathing, bandha mudra, shuddhi kriyas, for example, pressure changing practices or cleansing processes, dharana, concentration, meditation, dhyana, all different types of yogas, for example, bhakti, karma, jnana, mantra, all the things are for what? All the practices are for what? And it is for only one purpose. It is downfall of the vritti or thoughts. Why people say yoga is for reduction of 2 kg weight? Why people say it is for digestion of pizza and burger? It is sheer misunderstanding. So modern teachers should also understand yoga is for what. So this is all the practice. So today, I would like to give one opportunity for you to examine yourself, evaluate yourself. Today you have to decide your mind is stable or not. Then only you can go for practices. So remember, there are different 3 stages in our life. One is called positive stage, another is between positive and negative, and third is called negative. You have to minutely observe you are at which level. A person who is at positive state having holistic vision, that person is having deep purpose in his or her life. His attitude is responsible. Effective understanding is there and steady commitments are there. If you feel you are having those qualities, so definitely consider you are at positive state. Then, for example, you are having broken vision. What is broken vision? Today you decide something, tomorrow you change, day after tomorrow again you start doing same thing, after that you again change. Broken vision, there is no vision in your life, which is broken, not constant vision. Then distracted purpose. It is not possible for you to work sincerely on the assignment. Shaky attitude. You don't know when to start, where to start, why to start. Shaky attitude, whether start or not. Then doubtful understanding, and fine, and circumstantial commitment. If you are having this behavior pattern, remember you are between positive and negative. And third, negative state means this negative person has only one vision, and that is no vision in his life. No vision. Or short-term purpose he has. Destructive attitude he has. Dark understanding. Most of the people, always everything is written in the manuscripts or all the ancient texts about yoga. Still people say, yoga is for reduction, yoga is for flexibility, yoga is for diet to digest the things. No, it is called dark understanding. People are not capable to understand this. And such negative people, they are having selfish commitment. You have to evaluate yourself. Don't tell to me. You just evaluate sincerely. It doesn't matter you are in negative state. Just start applying yogic practices. Whatever you know, with fundamental principles, knowing fundamental principles. And slowly, then you can transform yourself from negative state to between negative and positive, and from there to positive state. So all the practices in yoga, maybe it is yama, which is called control, restraint practices, niyama for good habits or ethical habits, asana, which is a posture, pranayam, which is a breath control, pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses, dharana, which is attention or concentration, dhyana is the meditation, and finally, the ultimate isolation, which is the aim of every individual human. But at least modern man can start fundamental practices of yoga like this. So, if you practice all such practices, what will happen? It is possible to transform the ill thoughts. And once ill thoughts are transformed, your mind is stabilized. Once your mind is stabilized, all the 5 aspects of personality, they are stabilized and you get holistic health. So remember, all the practices of yoga, they are working harmoniously with each other to achieve the holistic health. If it is so easy, where is the problem in modern era then? Why people are not capable to understand yoga is for what? And the reason is people, they don't know the fundamental principles of asana or fundamental principles of pranayam, bandha mudra, shuddhi kriya, all the practices. They do whatever they want. They don't know fundamental principle. I will try to explain what really I would like to tell to you. Say, for example, asana. What are the fundamental principles of asana? I will explain you something. You will understand. Then you will understand how misunderstanding is deep-rooted with the modern teachers or modern practitioners. So, fundamental principles of asana. For example, you agree this? Every lock has its own key. You agree this? Definitely yes. You cannot open any lock with any key. Okay, I'll give modern example. You are using mobile and everyone is putting the password in the mobile. You know number of numbers, but in your password, if one number is missing, it is not possible to open your mobile. I'm sure you accept this. It means that the key of every lock is specific. The password of every mobile is also specific. So there are 2 things you have to understand. Every subject has 2 aspects. One is the science of that subject. Another is arts of that subject. You cannot change the science of any subject, but you can change the arts of any subject. For example, the password of mobile is 1234. You cannot change this science, which is 1234, but arts means what? You can press the button 1234 with your index finger, with your middle finger, with your thumb. This is art. Or you can tell to someone to press, but you cannot type 1239. If you type this, it is not possible to open your mobile. This is the science. I will give one more example and then I will tell where is the problem. For example, if I say Dr. Kishore ji, 1 plus 1, 3, 2 plus 4, 6, 2 plus 2, 5, for example, if I say, then Dr. Kishore sir will tell, sir, you are totally wrong. Go and take admission in class first. Why? Because 2 plus 2 is what? It is always 4. This is the science of mathematics. For example, in America, 2 plus 2, 4. In India, 2 plus 2, 4. In Japan, 2 plus 2, 4. You cannot change the science of mathematics, but you can change the arts of mathematics. For example, you can show 2 plus 2 like this, 4. Your handwriting is worst, no problem, but answer is 4. You can write with blue pen or red pen or on the wall, on your t-shirt or anywhere, but you cannot change the answer 4. So science of mathematics is answer 4, and arts of mathematics is you can use different things. Now I am coming to my point. What is the science of yoga? And what is the arts of yoga? But what is the science of yoga? And ancient text says science of yoga is sthira sukham asanam. For example, I'm only talking about asana. Fundamental principles of asana that I'm telling. Sthira means stability. Sukha means comfort. For example, you are not stable. It is not asana. For example, you are running. You cannot say it is running asana because sthira, stability is not there. Sukha means, for example, there is a problem at your lumbar region. You are not capable to bend forward. And if I try to press you, it is not sukha. It is not pleasure. It is dukkha for you. It's a pain. Then you have to tell it is sthira dukkham asanam. It is not like that. It is sthira. So second principle is prayatna shaithilya. Effortlessness. You should not put any kind of efforts. There is no any jerky movement. And then only it is possible to achieve tato dvandvana bhighata. Dvandva means conflict. We have to remove the conflict. World is enough. Efforts of world is enough to put under conflict. Why we again want to put us in the conflict? So to remove the conflict, this is the purpose. Now I will tell you where is the problem. Physical education teachers are capable to understand this. I hope clearly. For example, someone is asking to you, what exercises you are doing? And you say simply, because you know, yes, I am doing yogic exercises. But the person who is not capable to understand this, for him it is difficult to understand. Because for him, exercise is only one, and that is dynamic exercise. He is not capable to understand that static is also one type of exercise. So remember, there are two aspects of exercise which you know, static and dynamic. But modern people are not capable to understand. That is the problem. So asanas, what is static? When there is no repetition and you maintain the final position, that is called static. And when there are repetitions in the actions and you are not maintaining final position, that is dynamic. We all know. So asanas are static. They are not dynamic. But exercise are dynamic. Asanas consume minimum energy and dynamic exercises consume maximum energy. Asanas develop tone of the muscle, but you perform exercise for the strength of the muscle. And when you perform asana, you do not increase the muscle mass, but you develop the muscle tone. But if you want to develop your biceps, for example, go directly in the gym, perform your dumbbells, but don't tell it is dumbbells yoga. It is the problem with they don't know. They use any name for anything. So remember, yogic practices are sthira, static practices. I am not telling. All the ancient manuscript they are talking about. Because you have to understand the philosophy of asana is different and philosophy of exercise is different. I am not telling asana is good and exercise is bad. I am not even telling exercise is good and asana is bad. What I'm telling, what you want. You want to develop your motor qualities, motor abilities, directly go for exercise. But if you want to stabilize your mind, you have to go for asana. Because the philosophy of asana is different and philosophy of exercise is different. Psychology of asana is different and psychology of exercise is different. That's why physiology of asana is different and physiology of exercise is totally different. What you want physical fitness, directly go for physical exercises. But if you want to reduce the disturbance at the mind, you have to go for yogic practices. This is so simple criteria, but modern teachers are not capable to understand, and that's why they use any nonsense things on the name of yoga. So when I was working, I got number of manuscripts, more than 250 manuscripts, and near about 1000 authentic asanas from this book. And we publish this encyclopedia of traditional asanas. You just have to name the asana and you will find the reference from which manuscript you found this. Manuscript means all such available authentic records. This type of research we really want. We need fundamental research. We need real authentic research. All such ancient manuscripts, they are base for applied research. They are base for scientific research. They are also based for survey research. They are also based for all such other types of researches. It is not possible to speak much about the books. You can visit the Lonavala Yoga website. So here, remember, what I would like to tell you, the modern distorted styles of yoga which people use, they don't know. If you start practicing those, means several problems. But if you go for ancient and authentic yoga literature, means all the solution. Today, people are not capable to understand. They are using the modern practices or ancient practices, and that's why they practice yoga, but they invite the problems. Don't do like that. Remember the fundamental principles. And finally, I would like to put something in your court in through this conference. When people, all the great masters, they invented yoga, at that time the purpose was to know who am I, what is my role, why I have taken birth. And that's why they called as Swarupa Yoga or Swaswarupa Yoga. Then people started using spiritual truths in their life. That's why they named yoga as Adhyatmika Yoga. Then era by era, changes were there and people started understanding yoga only through intellect, and they used Buddhi Yoga. And as they were going away from their true nature, number of diseases were knocking on their doors, and they need yogic practices to cure those. And that's why they named yoga as Chikitsa Yoga. And after that, people started using yoga as Vyayama Yoga, then Krida Yoga, today's Spardha Yoga. I really don't know that really it is a development of yoga or it is a downfall of yoga. Today, it is a serious question. We have to understand, really, we are capable to understand what is yoga. Really, we are capable to take benefits of this real, authentic wisdom, which is a great blessings to our mother India. This time is short, but still this is the vast spectrum of ancient yoga by which modern man will achieve holistic health, and this is the purpose of yoga. I would like to convey very humble thanks to all the organizers for giving me such a beautiful opportunity to share some of my views. Thank you very much. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi.
Thank you very much, sir, for your beautiful and excellent presentation. You are saying about yoga manuscripts and also describe present situation of common man in modern era, great imbalance between external situation and our lifestyle, restless lifestyle, and then the difference between holistic health and holistic health. And this is we know very much useful information from your presentation, and this is a beautiful presentation, sir. And three fundamental principles of total holistic health present here. And from in behalf of the college authority and the organizing committee, I convey my gratitude to you, and your presentation is so informative that we cannot speak this in our speech. And now we are going to Dr. G.C. Pal, our IQAC coordinator to give the vote of thanks to the audience. I also give my gratitude.
Thank you, Bhagirathi sir, as usual.
Thank you.
Nice presentation, sir.
There is
Thanks a
no
lot.
time for the question and
সম্ভবত
answers. Yeah.
just
If you want anything,
one question.
otherwise,
Just one question.
see in the chat box.
Yes, there is one question for
Very
One question,
interesting,
sir.
informative way. One question, just one question. Very interesting, informative, engrossing lecture. We have gathered much knowledge from this presentation.
Please ask your question, Arun Babu. Arun Kumar Mondol, please ask your question. I think
Development
Babu is
of
connected.
an one.
Okay.
Second is that suppose that or yogic practice. What types of yogic practice would be conducive in reducing the emotional disturbance or maladjustment? Kindly, sir.
Actually, what I understand from his asking, what is the impact of yoga for emotional adjustment?
Spiritual development of an individual, and second, cyclical meditation. Cyclical meditation. I am asking, sir. I am asking from research person. Okay.
Try to understand.
And second is
Meditation
that
is the
as
result of
a
your
teacher.
dharana,
Okay.
the concentration. Kishorji, he can write a message to me and then we will see what is to be done. Because
Okay, sir. Actually, he wants to know what are the steps of yoga to minimize the emotional or anxiety level of the students. This is the first one.
No.
And second one is the
I would like to
psychological
know
implication of
cyclical meditation.
Or he
Try to
wants to know what
understand.
is psychological meditation.
Yes. There is no any kind of cyclic meditation.
Cyclical.
Cyclical meditation.
Arun Kumar Mandalji, try to understand.
Yes, sir.
In ancient texts, what they are talking about, all such names are modern names. In ancient texts, they say dhyana is the result of dharana. What is dhyana? Dhyana means pratyeka tanakata hai. Dhyana means only two things are remaining. But prior to that, dharana is important. Whatever we are doing, it is called dharana. Dharana means you try to take some object and you try to concentrate on that object, and number of thoughts are there. Slowly, continuous practice will take you up to the minimization of vrittis, and result of that you go there. But cyclic meditation, there is no any concept written in any of the ancient texts. They simply say dhyana, which is meditation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And if you provide some information about that, if the student suffer from emotional maladjustment, then as a teacher, what types of yogic practice would be conducive in reducing the emotional maladjustment?
Try to understand. People consider yoga is like a 2 minutes Maggie. It is not like that. You cannot give ready reckoner for anything. Yoga is the universal approach. It is a combination of all the practices. For example, you perform asana. Some of the asanas you have to perform, which will help you to perform pranayam properly. If you perform bandha and mudras, so all the practices unitedly you have to perform there. There is no any kind of reckoner, ready reckoner. You perform 2 asanas for this, 3 asanas for this. People should understand this. It is the combined efforts of all the practices.
Okay, thank you. And other very important question, is there any relationship between emotional maladjustment and academic performance, positive or negative? That is high.
Definitely, if you want to achieve academic performance well, then emotional stability must be there. If emotional stability is not there, then it is difficult to achieve the academics. So whole the success story leads through your mental and emotional balance. That's why we should concentrate on mental and emotional. Why people are not capable to understand. Unfortunately, the field of yoga also, sorry to say with due respect, but we don't know. We keep yoga only at physical level. We should go beyond physical. It is not only for the physical, it is for the mental and emotional. And if you know how to train the student at emotional level, you can create a generation which is a remarkable, believe me, through real practice of yoga.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, please, if time permits, then ask. Otherwise, yeah.
Okay, sir, is it possible to infuse
This
the...
is the last question. Whatever question you want to ask, you can just put it on the chat box. This is the last question. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Proceed.
Sir, is it possible to infuse yoga as a mandatory subject in schools or colleges?
Definitely try to understand first. Yoga is not the subject. Yoga is mother, the base of all the subjects. Unfortunately, we consider it is a subject. That's why we feel it's an additional burden. It is not a subject. It's a base of everything. Because it is related to your physical, mental, emotional, social, academical, intellectual, spiritual, all the aspect you can develop through yoga. So that's why yoga should be definitely introduced in number of schools. They have already introduced, I feel.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now it is the time of vote of thanks. Now I invite our IQAC coordinator Gopal Chandra Pal to give that vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon of all of you. It is a convention, this vote of thanks, end of the program. So special thanks to Dr. Rajiv Chaudhuri, Dean of Students Welfare, Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur, as a research speaker. Dr. Chaudhuri's speech on social research program, structure of social research and various methodology and theories of social research in very simple language. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable lecture. I next to special thanks Dr. Mannath Garote, Director of Lonavala Yoga Institute, as a research speaker. Dr. Mannath speaks on yoga in modern era, specially focused on science in yoga and personality. Practice in yoga, pranayam, dhyana, mark, etc. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable and important speech in present life in modern era. Next, thanks to Reverend Paritosh Canning, Chief Patron and President of BOG of our college. Reverend David Roy, Secretary of BOG and Patron of our college. Dr. S.K. Thakur, Principal of UCTC. Dr. Kishore Mukhopadhyay, Organizing Secretary, Observation of Student Week Program. Dr. Shubhobrat Kaur, HOD of Physical Education and NAC Coordinator. Mr. Rashim Chandra, Head Clerk of UCTC. Thank you very much to all of my colleagues, teaching and non-teaching faculty of our college, librarian. Also thankful to all students, teachers of B.Ed and B.P.Ed department and others participants. Also many thanks to our all technicians whose contribution is memorable for success this program. Also, observation of this student week. Thank you all. Dr. Kaur.
Thank you, Dr. Gopal Chandra Pal. Now we are going to conclude our session. This is a beautiful session, and all of the college employees and teachers are participating in this session, and also the students are participating in the session. Now, if the feedback link is not working, I also provide it to the principal's WhatsApp, and he also provide it to the students. Now I am going to conclude the seminar, and thank you all. Thank you all again, and I am going to conclude the session.